The latest Cheltenham Festival began with Gloucestershire entertaining Northamptonshire in the LV County Championship, and the first day was a good one for both Liam Norwell, who bagged his third 5-wicket haul of the summer, and Alex Wakely, who scored 100. Acting Gloucestershire captain Ian Cobain won the toss and inserted, Craig Miles striking with just his second ball as the returning Stephen Peters edged the youngster behind. Cobain was in charge after Geraint Jones announced that he was standing down as skipper before retiring at the end of the season. Here, much of the rest of the morning belonged to Ben Duckett and Wakely at this gorgeous outground, always an important fortnight in the year of Gloucestershire County Cricket Club. The pitch is normally a hard and fast one, and batsmen always get plenty of value for their shots, something that the informed Duckett was making the most of, he coming into this match on the back of scores of 134 and 88 in the draw with Lancashire last week. He was especially strong on the pull shot if anything was dropped in, even a fraction too short. Duckett likes to get a move on at the top of the order, and he was celebrating another half-century with this couple of runs off Norwell, which had the 20-year-old at his 50 off only 60 balls, from which he'd found the boundary 10 times. At the other end, Wakely was also looking good. These shots suggest that the home attack were a little guilty of bowling too short, and that helped this pair of batsmen raise the score to 90 before a Norwell-inspired collapse happened either side of lunch. First, he persuaded Duckett, now on 53, to hook another short delivery to Benny Howell at long leg, a disappointing end to another aggressive knock. Norwell was in the action at the start of his next over too, as Rob Keogh edged to Chris Dent, the batsman leaving with his side on 92 for 3. That became 116 for 4 early on in the afternoon, when Richard Levy threw his bat at a wide one from Norwell and nicked behind on 14. In his next over, the 23-year-old, having a terrific season, had a 4th wicket as Adam Rossington gave Michael Klinger some work to do in the slips, the batsman out for a duck at 118 for 5. In spite of 4 wickets falling for 28 runs in 10 overs, Wakely remained calm and posted a 50 off 127 balls, from which he'd found the boundary on 8 occasions. He now had an important role to play for his team to keep their innings going, as he would have hoped for at the outset. Even more so when Norwell continued his burst, which now had him earning a 5th wicket for 16 runs in 7 overs after Josh Cobb was bowled. That gave Norwell his third 5-wicket haul of the season. Northamptonshire were now in some trouble on 122 for 6, and they would have been relieved that the bowler now had to take some time off, a job very well done indeed. The others caused Stephen Crook fewer problems as he finally started to establish a partnership with his captain, who moved relentlessly on with some sublime cricket shots in a day where in the end 14 wickets fell. This was a fine effort from the 26-year-old who missed all of last season through injury. With support from Crook, Wakely moved to 89 out of a total of 191, his boundary count now up to 14. The partnership for the 7th wicket was ended on 69 when Crook on 27 swept Jack Taylor and was held right on the boundary's edge by Howell. The batsman could hardly take in what he'd done. Wakely then nearly missed out on his ton, just the 3rd of his first-class career, when he drove a shot through the hands of the bowler Taylor. The strike had enough power on it to carry to the boundary to take Wakely to 3 figures off 216 balls, that being his 16th 4. He also now had the 200 up for his team. But he was out before tea, 9 runs shy of a career best, when on 104 he edged a pull off James Fuller, which landed safely in the hands of Klinger at slip. The visitors went to tea on 215 for 8, and Graham White then came out to play a few shots. This one off Taylor went all the way, while these 4s also helped out his side's cause. Northamptonshire have just started to show some form and were robbed by the weather last time out in Manchester. Although they have a lot of work to do, they won't have given up on getting back into the top flight at the first time of asking. White drove a swinging ball from Howell into the hands of Hamish Marshall in the covers to go for 24 at 246 for 9. And before another run had been added to that, Norwell ended with figures of 6 for 41 as Rory Kleinfeldt top edged to pull to Miles. Norwell now has 44 Championship wickets this year, bettered in Division 2 only by Matt Coles and Kyle Jarvis. Ollie Stone is in good nick with the ball too at the moment, and with his second delivery he found the edge of Dent's bat, Kleinfeldt cleaning up in the slips, and the opener was on his way without scoring. Kleinfeldt then trapped Will Tavares in front for 10 as Gloucestershire struggled against the new ball, both of their openers out with just a dozen runs on the board. And they then slipped to 35 for 3 when Klinger on 10 gave the South African another wicket with a nick behind. That was the 13th wicket of the day to fall. Before we had our final one, Marshall and Gareth Roderick tried to settle in and lead a recovery. In some lovely evening sunshine in this delightful part of the Cotswolds, this pair added 41 runs in 9 overs for the 4th wicket. Only for Roderick, with 23 runs to his name, to be pinned in front by Crook right at the end of a very entertaining day. Cobain and Marshall saw out the remaining 14 deliveries, and that means that Gloucestershire will go again on the second morning on 82 for 4, with Marshall looking to add to his 25. They are currently 164 runs behind.